We are working in Module 10 and we're talking in this module about different ways to format your worksheet. We've gone all the way down through Section 1 where we talked about formatting your cells. We talked in Section 2 about formatting your numbers. And then in Section 3 we just covered the borders and shading option. Now that's a lot of different formatting options that you can do, but what if you just don't have time? Well, Excel has some pre-built ones that you can go in and actually use, and then you can customize those if you like as well. Let me just go ahead and show you where all those options are. Okay, I've got this little table here that represents the payroll for the company called Books and Beyond, and you can kind of see the different headings, the first name, the last name, the division, things like that. To us, this is what we might call a table, but to Excel, it's not really a true table at this point. It's just a range of cells that we have some data in. I want to show you how to convert this to a table and then some of the different things you can do with a table. All you need to do is be clicked inside the table before you start, and under the Insert tab, this first grouping is your tables grouping, and then you'll have a table option that I'm going to click on. And notice that it already goes and selects my whole entire range here because I started by clicking in the range. Now my table has headers at the top, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my table has headers is selected and click OK. And now this is what an actual Excel table looks like. Now we haven't talked about some of the features here, like these drop downs for example. These allow you to filter out data that you would like to see. We'll get into that a little bit later. That's turned on automatically when you have a table. One thing I wanted to show you is when you actually scroll up, notice that your headers here, when you scroll up, become, instead of column A, column B, column C, they're now at the top there. And that's automatic in a table. So as you scroll down, you'll know exactly what data is below which of the column headings there. That is really a cool feature about a table. But here's what I wanted you to notice. You now have your Table Tools Contextual tab here, and there's a lot of different options you've got, and I want to go through some of these with you so you'll know exactly what you're looking at here. First of all, if you notice the way this looks, every other row is like a blue color and then in between is the white ones. That's because you have banded rows. That's what this is right here. And where it says header row, that's this row right here. And we told it that when we actually told it to convert this to a table. But notice you could go in and do all kinds of things, like if you wanted first column, notice when I check that this column becomes bold, and that way you can read across a little more easily. You do have what we call total row, so if you have some totals down at the bottom, you'll see it actually put that double border there and made that a total row. Each of these you can turn on and it creates a certain style for your table. Now let's go over and look real quick at some of the other options, specifically right here where it says external table data. First of all, refresh means that if you had a formula and that formula pulled data from another sheet, you might want to refresh the data here. It doesn't automatically update. Also, export allows you to export your table to a SharePoint list if you want to. The other thing is over here, we're going to talk about pivot tables in a later module, but you do have the ability to remove duplicates. So it's going to pick up any columns, it's going to look down that information in the column, and if it sees any that it thinks are duplicates, it's going to let you know, and then you can do what you want to with those duplicates. You can also just convert this all back to a range if you want it. All the data is still going to be there, it's just going to be a range, and Excel won't see it as a table. Over here, you'll notice you have different table styles, and you can see there's a drop down. If we'd rather have this orange color instead of the blue, we can just choose that. Or you'll notice that maybe you want to have this green color, you can choose that. So you have different styles. You also have the ability to get down to the bottom where it says New Table Style and go through and actually create your own. The first thing you'll want to do is give your new style a name. I'll just call mine New Style. And then I have the ability for each of these table elements to go through and make some formatting changes. Let's say, for example, I wanted to have the header row a certain color. I can go ahead and format that. And I might decide that I want a yellow on the header row, for example. If I want fill effects, I can go ahead and choose those. Maybe I want a yellow and a lighter blue like this. Any of these options I pick will only affect the header row in this particular case. Notice I could then go in if I wanted something to affect what they call the first row stripe. Then I can go ahead and format that, and I'll be able to go in and make those whatever color I'd like as well. When I click OK and then click OK again, it's not going to automatically apply it. You're going to notice that on your table styles, you now have a custom style. And you can click on it, and then you'll see that's the style that you chose. You have lots of options when it comes to table styles that you can use. That's pretty much what you're going to be able to do with your tables right now. Let's go ahead and wrap up this particular section, and I want to take you over to section 5 and talk to you a little bit about using the styles feature.